Hey guys, it's Slushy. Yeah, if you only ever watch my fan films, what do you know? It's the first time you've seen my face. I'm doing an interview. I asked people to give me interview questions, and I got some, so I'm gonna do an interview here. I'm gonna start off with Kylie Owens. I got two people to do it: Kylie Owens and one of my friends, K Faith. Shout out to her. She's an awesome person, and in general, just an incredible fan of my film. So I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you putting up with me, because I know I comment a lot, and I try to not do that as much. The first question is, when was there a moment in a film that you were confused? Or was there a moment? Well, the only moment where I was kind of like confused or somewhat like mind boggled was whenever you see me reach for the mask, the hockey mask, in the first part. Like whenever I'm running away from my bedroom, you see me running, and I run into the kitchen, and then I turn back real quick to flip up the mask, but the mask slipped off my fingers, because my fingers were sweaty. Like, but you gotta realize, that mask is so hot. Like, I'm wearing the under mask, and we had to reshoot this a couple times. Not this scene. I'm talking, like, the other scenes. We had to do a couple different shots of stuff. So I was starting to get really hot, because if you take it off, then it looks like, you took it off. I try to keep it in like the same spot. Like if you take off the mask, it's like if it's like in a good spot, tucked in, then it looks cool. But if it's like hanging out a little bit and the neck's like opened up, it's gonna look stupid. Then it's gonna look like a mask, and you don't want it to look like the mask. But lately I've had a problem with fixing into that ability, but I didn't want to take it off, so I just left it alone. I'm like, I'm just gonna burn like hell, and then I'm just gonna take it off whenever it's over. So, what I did was, whenever it was like so hot, and like the sweat was pouring down into my eyes, whenever I flipped it off, when it slipped off my fingers, and I reached for it again, I was like, oh, I'm not gonna be able, I can't see it, and I just reached by where I thought it went based on sounds, and I was like, oh crap, I got it. And then I just took off running outside. And then when I got outside, took off that mask as quick as I could, because man, I was burning up. Could have had like a heat stroke or something. But yeah, that's probably the only moment I was confused. And then I put it back on and blah blah blah. Who's your favorite character to play? Favorite character to play? I would have to say, there's a couple different answers I can give you. Favorite character to play, period? Probably Michael Myers, because I have a history with Michael Myers. I mean, it's the first film I ever watched, was Halloween 4, Return of Michael Myers. If you're talking about, like, horror-wise, which one is the coolest to play, I would say probably Jason, because I think my costume just looks awesome, and it's incredibly cool looking. But Leatherface is also really fun. I don't want to downsize him. He's also a really fun character to play, but those are my two favorites. The most enjoyable character to play is Leatherface, because he's just an awesome person. Like, I mean, sure, you're going to be like, what the hell? He's a serial killer. He ain't no awesome person. He's just an awesome character in general to play, because he's not a one-sided character. There's a lot more to Leatherface than the other characters. Michael Myers doesn't talk, Jason doesn't talk. I mean, Leatherface don't really talk. But you see an emotional side of him. Like, it's not just, killing people. It's, you see it to where he's like, sure, he's killing people, but then he's like affected by it. So it's like, he knows he's killing people. He's doing that intentionally. But then he's like, the after effect, like you see him like getting upset about it. Like whenever people kept coming in the 74 version, he was getting upset. Like he doesn't, I feel like even then, he didn't want to kill people. It's just they keep going to their deaths. So that's the thing. That's why I think he's such an awesome character in general, because he's not a one-sided character. I mean, Jason just does the same stuff, but that's the thing with my films, I try to make it different. Like, Jason just runs around with a knife and slashes people and, lets one to two people get away in the end. I try to change that. I try to make it to where nobody gets away in the end, and it's not a happy ending, because they never let the bad guys win. Never. They never let the bad guys win. And I want to change that. So whenever I get to Hollywood, you better believe you're going to get some movies where the bad guy wins every time. I wouldn't say every time, but if it makes sense to make the bad guy win, then he's going to win. Like if there's like a nerdy type of dude versus Jason, I'm going to go with Jason. I don't think that guy has a chance. No offense, nerdy guy. What will be the next film to release? Well, let's see here. I have 4 films. The next one to release is going to be Paranormal Activity, because it's the most recent in story-wise or script-wise. Who is Terror Pictures? It's a group comprised of me, my brother, and Prankster Mind Roblox. I'm the founder, so I control everything. This is kayfabe. Which actors inspired you for the roles? Well, for Jason, it's a combination of 2. Kane Hodder and Derek Mears, because they're just awesome guys, and not even just besides they're awesome guys, I thought they played the role essential. They did it really well, and really nobody's been able to compare to them, and I want to be able to be in the conversation with them, because, I mean, even though I'm not a well-known actor, not a lot of people know of me in general, I try to combine them, because if they're the best, and I add my little, taste of Jason, then it makes him better. Like, you can't make the role better if you combine the 2 greatest with some more, cool ideas. So that's why I incorporate the Kane Hodder, the breathing thing, the Derek Mears with the speed, and then I add my own little flavor of it. Like I said, I try to add the element of surprise. Like, you don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, you see me, in part 2, you see me walking towards where my brother and Arctic Conquest were positioned at, behind the tree. But then I actually, snuck around through the bushes. And then, whenever he turns around, I'm standing there with the knife out. So it's that's freaking scary. You gotta realize, that actually happened. I didn't teleport like in the movies. I actually had to do that. So, that's that. Oh, and for Halloween, Tyler Mane and George P. Wilbur. George P. Wilbur's from Halloween 4 and Halloween 6. Tyler Mane's from Halloween and Halloween 2 from 09 and 07. For Texas Chainsaw, Gunnar Hansen and Dan Yeager. And in my next one, I'm combining those 2 with Andrew Berniarski from Texas Chainsaw 03 and 06. What inspired you to make these movies? What inspired me to make these movies? In general, my love for horror. I really wanted to support horror. My support for these films. My support for these actors. And just the fact that it's awesome to be able to replicate these films. That's why I really love doing these. It's incredible. Because, I watch these films over and over and over. I mean, I'm 17, and I've watched some of these movies a gazillion times already. And I'm sure I'm going to do this for my whole life. But that's what pretty much inspired me to make these films. My love for horror. People, some people complain about some of the films. Oh, that's unrealistic. Why does he move like a mannequin? Which I'll agree. Jason did move like a mannequin in the very first couple of films. Actually, 1 through 6. Well, 2 through 6. When he wasn't in 1. 2 through 6, he moved like a freaking mannequin. It's like when he pulls up a knife, and then he kills you. But in the newer ones, you see him walking, you see Kane made him breathe, so you see that makes him show that he's alive. Well, then he went to space, he also went to hell, what else did he go to? He went to Manhattan, yeah, he's a hell of a traveler. But yeah, screw that. New Line really screwed up the series. But then they changed it whenever they put out an 09 remake. That was one of the best films I've probably ever seen, slasher-wise. How long does it take you to film a story and edit it? Usually, it's really quick. It's unusually quick. You guys probably be surprised. Sometimes it could take a couple of nights. Sometimes it could take a week to edit. Depends which one it is. I think the longest I've ever spent on an edit for film probably was a week and a half with Halloween Origins. That one took a while. The credits kept screwing up for some reason. Like, sometimes they would get smaller, bigger, smaller, bigger. Like, whenever you see them in the credits now, like, if you go watch Halloween Origins now, the credits are all jumbled together and, like, so close, bunched up. Because they got messed up again, and I was just done. I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore. It just keeps getting messed up. And I kept holding off on uploading it for you guys because it kept doing that. So I didn't want you guys to get crap. But then it ended up doing it anyway. So I was like, I'm done. I can't deal with this anymore. It's so aggravating. And so I just put it out like that, like it was. So yeah, that's how that happened. To record it takes like 1 or 2 times. I usually record it all in one day. I'm trying to think if I ever did 2 days. Have I ever done it in 2 days? I really had to think about this. The only one that came even close was Texas Chainsaw. I filmed the opening credits one part of the day, like 3 or 4 hours later, I filmed the film. So, yeah, that's the only time any time periods were different. And you could tell by the lighting that it's a total different time period. I was also kind of waiting for the heat to, go down a little bit, but turns out it got hotter. So, surprise, surprise. Do you enjoy playing a certain villain more than another? That kind of is the same question as Kylie, which she said, who's your favorite character to play? It's kind of almost the same thing, just a little bit more complicated. Because Kylie is a little bit simple. Do I enjoy playing a villain more than another? I really don't. I'm not going to say I really do. Yeah, I really don't enjoy playing one specific villain over another. I think they're all incredibly fun to play and interesting. And it's awesome to be able to be behind the mask in general, because I grew up watching the films, and to be able to wear the mask is incredible. I know I'm not in like Hollywood, and I'm not like a celebrity or nothing, but it's incredible to wear the mask in general. And I love making these films to show support for the films, even though a lot of the Friday the 13th films were flops, like A New Beginning, Jason Goes to Hell, Jason X. That was just, like, funny. That's all it was. But, yeah, I really don't enjoy playing one villain more than another. I think the most exciting, Leatherface. Like I said, the scariest, Jason. And just a total awesome experience is probably Michael. Do I have a favorite villain? Obviously, if I had to pick of any of these, Michael Myers. The only thing I really don't like about him, which I'm going to change in my my new series, it's not going to be a series, it's just, from now on, since the Halloween series is over, I'm just going to start, like, making, Halloween films, just it's not in a series. And in those, I'm going to be quicker, I promise. I'm going to bring a whole different speed. I killed the bug. Yeah, I killed the bug again. There's 2 of them. Savage. But, yeah, I'm going to try to incorporate a better speed in the next one for you guys, because it makes it interesting to see me sprinting like I'm about to run a 5K. 1 second, I really need to take a drink. My mouth is starting to get dry. Alright. Why horror icons? What about them draws you in, and what makes you want to recreate movies on these icons, or of these icons? Well, I think the other question you asked kind of explains that. What inspired you to make these movies? Horror icons, because I'm such a huge horror fan. I grew up with horror my whole life. And it actually came as a mistake. It started as my stepdad wanting to scare the crap out of me on Halloween. I got grounded on Halloween, wasn't allowed to go trick-or-treating, so I was stuck inside. And, so I was sitting on the couch, just, waiting for Halloween to pass. I hate these stupid bugs, dude. They're like flies or whatever. So I was waiting for Halloween to pass, and, he turns on the TV. Halloween 4, Return of Michael Myers was on. Had just started. So I sat back. I was like, let's watch it. I got super fascinated, which is that's what I was trying to show a minute ago. And then, I just got super into it. And then whenever it finally ended, he was like, what'd you think? I'm like, that's awesome. And then I'm like, the next day I went on YouTube and I looked up Michael Myers. So I was so fascinated with him. I don't know what about Michael Myers drew me in, but something about him just every time I watch a film, I get goosebumps. Like I don't get goosebumps from other films. Like when I hear his theme song, I start to get goosebumps. It's insane. I don't know why. Maybe it's like the history with me and him. But I have no idea. But it's insane. I love the Halloween movies, except for Halloween 3. That was just bull. The only good thing about that was the soundtrack. Um, but yeah, I don't know why. I just love Michael Myers more than the other characters. I hate to say it, but I mean, everyone has their favorite character. I love recreating all of these films because I love all the characters. I love, like I said, I already explained where I love Leatherface more than the others, but they're all unique in their own way. Like Michael, he's set on killing certain people, like his sister, his niece. That's it. He doesn't intend to kill anybody else unless you get in his way between killing those two people, which is what everybody seems to do. So really nobody would die if they just chained like Jamie Lloyd and, Laurie Strode to a bed and let Michael walk in. Stab the crap out of them. Or just slit their throat or something, or like break their neck. But Jason, the unique thing about Jason is he doesn't die. He doesn't get hurt. I mean, he shows signs of getting hurt. Like, you'll see him get strangled. He'll fall down. And he's back. It's like, come on, dude. I guess the new thing you could say about Jason is he's the only character in horror films that's ever walked like a mannequin besides Frankenstein. I mean, the dude might as well walk. He might as well do that. Friday the 13th, Night of the Living Dead. That sounds like a thing they would make back then. I mean, they made Jason Goes to Hell. Why not that? What draws me in, just the fact in general that I get to play these characters is what's incredible. I appreciate, you guys watching them. I appreciate you guys watching them in general because I spend a lot of time coming up with the concept for these. Some of them I make a script for, but then I'm like, you know what? Let's go off script. Let's completely ad-lib it. Let's screw it. But then, we just come up with it on the spot. So you gotta imagine, I'm thinking about a lot at once. I'm like, hey, okay, let's do this scene. So I tell my brother Bees, that's his name for YouTube, because he doesn't want to, well, I don't think he cares, but, I think it's better than putting out his full Twitter name, add an ocean of Bees. So I just call him Bees now. So I'll tell him, hey, you go over there, I'm gonna come behind the tree, and what I want you to do is, stand there, record me coming out behind the tree, but then, come up close to show me, really close to me, as if, just, get really close. Not as, the character, but as, the cameraman, and, have the character all the way over there still, and, show me, maybe, cocking my head, giving the camera an angry stare like that, or, just show me in general. And then, I'll just walk over to you. I just think it makes it cooler to see me before he sees me. So that's the thing that makes it entertaining. It's because, you guys know about me before he does. So you guys know that I'm behind that tree, but he doesn't. So when I pop out behind that tree, that's the first time he saw me. You guys saw it, a moment before, so you guys know what to expect. That's what I try to give you guys, that one-step advantage over him. But we always work together. Sometimes, obviously, he's very disinterested in making these films. Not because he just hates working with me, just because of the fact that he doesn't like horror. He's not a fan of horror whatsoever. He loves making fun of the films. And don't diss my brother. He's a cool dude, and he honestly sometimes he puts a lot of work into these. So I really want to say that, especially by the fact that he doesn't really even like horror. So it's cool the fact that he even tries to put some work into it. He could easily just flop everything and just make me do everything, which would suck because if Michael Myers is recording, he's killing, it would look retarded. So I'm just over here, just stabbing the crap out of my camera. No, that doesn't work. Oh, so I really appreciate everything he does for me and what you guys do by watching my videos. That's all the comments. By watching all my films and supporting me as a director and a producer and a writer. So I really appreciate that. And and I have a lot of good films planned. I'm trying to come up with more unique ideas rather than just slashers. I even have some psychological films that are in planning processes, or in the planning process. I'm gonna get a drink, dude. I'm talking too much. It's like watered down. It sucks. I hate watered down soda. Uh, what was I saying? Yeah, I have a couple psychological films planned, and I'm taking ideas. I always am up for ideas and opinions and feedback and concepts and stuff. If you guys come up with it, if you guys ever come up with a cool film idea, like you guys have a cool film idea and you have a script or something, send it my way. Like, send it to my email, killerrap4@gmail.com. I'll post it in the description. I'll post my Facebook. I'll post my Twitter link in the description as well. So you guys can do that there. I'll probably post my terror pictures page more because I don't want, a bunch of random dudes on my Facebook, because it's hard enough to comment back to people on Facebook as it is. Also, I've made this new policy where I don't respond to comments until my Paranormal Activity film is over. So yeah. All I can say is I appreciate everything. And if you guys do want to get involved, like I said, I already told you how. If you have a cool script or a cool film idea, just give me a cool title. I could probably come up with a script after hearing like a cool title, like, I don't know, well, The Nightmare Next Door. Nightmare Next Door or something. I don't know, about like a neighbor who's freaking psycho and, he watches them all the time. That came from Kayfabe. She actually came up with that idea from a movie. I don't remember what the movie was called, but she came up with that idea, and I might do that if I can come up with a cool title for it. That's the thing that takes me the longest, coming up with a cool title. I know you guys are probably like, hey, what do you mean? You've made basic titles as it is. Halloween 6 Origins, Halloween 7 Insomnia. That's not basic, but that one took a little bit. And my brother actually came up, if you guys have seen my prequel, Halloween Nightmare Nears, he actually came up with that title, Halloween Nightmare Nears. I didn't have a title for it in general. I was just going to call it Halloween, the prequel. I had one idea, Halloween Sandman Returns, Halloween The Night He Came Home, Halloween, what was the other one that got lost in the movies? This one was supposed to be like Halloween 4 or 5, Halloween Night of the Dead? Wasn't Night of the Dead, was it? I don't remember. It got lost in the titles, so I never actually used it. So I don't know. So like I said, if you guys have a good idea, a good title, a good film idea, let me know in the comments or on Facebook or on Twitter. Probably Facebook more so, but if you want to send me a DM on Twitter, I would gladly respond. I respond to everything. I always try to respond to every post or thing, reply back to me on all of my social media sites. I think I'm most popular on Twitter with over almost 2,000 followers, I think. So yeah, I have a lot more supporters on there, and I definitely am on Twitter a lot more than I am Facebook. But yeah, so whichever one you guys want to do, email, whatever, I'll respond to everything. I'll accept friend requests. I'm kind of a chill, laid back dude, social media wise. I respond to everybody. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you everybody so much for the questions. I appreciate answering them, and I appreciate all the questions. I will be making a part 2 to this shortly when I get more questions. If I get more questions. So thank you so much for watching. Stay awesome. Keep watching, and I hope you guys enjoy the next films. Bye.